Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know I've been MIA for a long time, so I apologize for that. I honestly have no excuse for it, so I'm not gonna try to excuse myself. So as you can see from the title of this video, this is going to be my COVID-19 story. And to start off, my husband works at a beef plant, or a meat packing plant, I don't know what it's called, but where they slaughter cows. And as you may know, at those places, my neighbors are really loud, so sorry. As you may know, in those packaging plants or slaughterhouses or whatever they're called, there's a lot of people that work there. So about like 2 months ago, word got out that there had been 10 positive COVID-19 cases. So at that time, a lot of people stopped working because they were scared, obviously, to get it. But my husband didn't. He continued to go to work. So it was Easter Sunday. I don't know, maybe it was like, I don't know, was it April 12th, April 13th, something like that. Anyway, that Friday, when he came home from work, he didn't feel good. And, you know, he hardly ate anything and he went straight to bed. Then Saturday, he woke up feeling worse. And he had a fever, he had chills, he had body aches. And he was like that almost the whole day. But towards the end of the day, like around 7 or 8, he started to feel better. Like he started to feel better. He wasn't sleeping. He did sleep a lot though. In the morning-ish, he slept a lot. But later on in the day, he was kind of going back to normal. And then Sunday came and he felt a whole lot better. Sunday for me, when I woke up, I didn't feel sick or anything, but I didn't want to eat. Like usually in the morning, I'm craving my coffee. And this time I was not craving my coffee. I didn't want to drink it. I probably drank like a quarter of a cup of it. And then I threw the rest away. And I was like that the whole day. I thought I was gonna get better. But then when dinner time came, I couldn't eat a lot of my food again. So that was really weird. But I didn't feel anything else except for that. Monday came. During the week, my husband goes to work around like 4:30 or 5. And he'll wake me up to say bye to me so I can lock the door. And then I also take my medicine at that time. When I got up, like physically got up out of bed, I felt so bad. Like I felt sick. And okay, let me tell you this. You probably don't believe me. I know a lot of people don't believe me. But honestly, the last time I was sick was in 2009. So a long time ago. I don't get sick. The only thing I ever get, like if I get the flu or, no, not the flu. It wouldn't be the flu. Like the cold or something, the only thing I get is a cough that lasts a long time. And that's usually all I get, and maybe a stuffy nose. That's all I get. I don't get fevers. I don't get chills or body aches. I don't get any of that. And I know it's hard to believe, but I honestly don't. And you can ask my husband. He knows, like, I don't get that. The only thing I'll get is a cough ever. But I did feel sick that Monday. I felt like just completely off. I just wanted to like run back to bed and go to sleep. So I did that. I went back to sleep. When I woke up later on in the day, I don't remember what time it was. I usually stay in bed for a while before I physically get up. So when I opened my eyes, woke up, at that time I thought I felt good. I was like, oh, you know, whatever it was, it's gone. Like I feel good. But when I physically got up to brush my teeth and make my coffee, I had body aches. So I didn't feel the same thing I felt when I first woke up at 4. So yeah, it's not that strange for me to feel body aches. So I didn't think much of it, but it was weird because, you know, like you can tell when there's something wrong with your body, you know, like something is different. It's not the same. I felt that. And I still didn't want to eat. I didn't want to eat anything. I hardly ate the whole time that I was sick. And I lost weight. I since have gained it all back and maybe a little more. So yeah, I hardly ate that day too. And so usually what I do when I wake up is I'll have my coffee, I'll do my personal study or whatever in the morning on the table. And then I will wash dishes, I will clean up, and then start cooking dinner. That's my routine every day. This time I couldn't even, like, I probably just read the daily text and that is it. I didn't have motivation to do absolutely anything. And usually throughout the day, like, I will not turn on the TV. I will not sit down here in this recliner because I know that if I do that, I won't get anything else done. You know, something good is always on TV or I'll find something. And it feels good to sit here. So I try to avoid that and I don't do it. I don't do it until everything else is done. This time, no lie, after I barely ate breakfast and read my daily text, I came straight here. And I was like, I'll watch TV, sit down for like 30 minutes or an hour, and maybe I'll feel better, like more motivated to do things. And it just never came. I couldn't get up. I got up to drink water, to use the bathroom and things like that, but my body hurt. Like, it didn't hurt too bad, but it hurt and I had no motivation to do anything. Also, I couldn't get warm. Like, I put a sweater on, pants on, I had these blankets on me, and I just couldn't get warm. Like, I felt really, really cold and tired and sleepy. And I don't take naps during the day unless I didn't sleep well the night before, because it will just mess up with my sleep cycle, and my sleep cycle is very complicated, and so I try not to mess with that. So although I felt very, very sleepy and tired and I really did want to close my eyes and go to sleep, I didn't do it. Like, I probably just closed my eyes and, use the recliner, but I didn't fall into like a deep sleep or anything, because I was preventing myself from doing that. Like, I didn't know I was sick with the COVID-19. So anyway, the day passed by like that. I didn't do absolutely anything that day. I hardly ate. And the next day, Tuesday, I felt a little better. And I want to say, out of the whole time that I was sick, I ate the most on Tuesday. So that day, although I still didn't feel 100%, I did feel better, and I got all my cleaning done. I even cooked that day, and I pushed myself to do my normal activities. I thought I was getting better until I started to eat dinner. And I was just so disgusted by the food that I even gagged. Like, I gagged and I could not finish it. And I threw the rest away because I was so disgusted by it. Like, that meal that I made that day, I probably will not make it for a long time, because just the thought of how it made me feel, it's still in my head. So yeah, that was Tuesday. Wednesday came, and no lie, I thought I was better. Like, I felt not 100% better, but better than I did the past 2 days. So I was like, hey, this is good. And so I went about my day the same, and I was like, whatever I had is over and done with. Little did I know what would happen Thursday. So that was so weird that I had like one day that I felt almost 100%. And then I'll tell you what happened Thursday. So Thursday came when I got up, my upper back hurt so bad. It felt like it was broken. Like, no lie, I felt like my back was broken. But it wasn't like my lower back or like my whole back. It was just up top, like right here. Oh, you can't see. I'll try to, like, right here, and it went all the way up to my neck. So all this up to my neck. All that hurt so bad. It felt like that part of my back was broken, because that's how intense the pain was. I almost wanted to cry later on in the day because I wasn't able to walk. Like, I I sat down in this recliner once again, like I did Monday, and all I did was watch TV the whole day. And usually, like, I can't be in one position for a long time, so I'm usually like switching over to this side and this side, or I'll stay like this. Doing that hurt. And if I got up and walked to get water or juice or whatever, it hurt so bad that at the end, I stopped walking because I didn't want to move, because that's how bad my upper back was hurting. So I had thought maybe that I was pregnant before. See, there I go moving. I was like, oh my God, like what if I'm pregnant, because I wasn't able to eat much. Like I never felt, well, my doctor called what I had nauseous. But to me, nausea is like when you want to throw up. You have that sensation that you want to throw up. I never had that. I just didn't want to eat, and things were disgusting to me. Like when something's disgusting, you don't want to eat it, right? Well, that's what I felt. So I thought maybe I was pregnant. Like deep down inside, I knew I wasn't, but I needed to give a name to the reason why I felt that way. But then when Thursday came and my upper back hurt, like right here, I was like, that can't be pregnancy. You know, I think when people are pregnant, their lower back hurts. And I didn't have that. And even when my period comes or is about to come, my lower back hurts. So I knew it was nothing like that. So then at that point, when my back hurt that much, and it wasn't only my back, like the rest of my body hurt, but what hurt the most was my upper back. So at that point, I was like, maybe I have arthritis, because my mom has arthritis. So I looked up to see, you know, the symptoms or how you know that you have arthritis. And it said it was like a gradual pain that you started to feel on your joints. And it just didn't make sense. So I was like, what is wrong with me? You know, like I needed to have a name for what I had, but I didn't know what it was. So I also didn't know what to take, because when I take Advil, which I don't even think we have, it makes my heart race really bad. Like my heart feels like it's gonna, you know, jump out of my chest from how badly it makes it, you know, pump or whatever. So I didn't take anything. And when my husband came, like he saw that I was in pain. And then I have this medicine called Corsidin or something like that. It's for like high blood pressure. I know that won't make my heart race. And it's for the cold, the common cold. And he's like, this says it helps with body aches, so just take it, because it's the only thing we had that I could take for my body aches. And so I listened to him and I took it, and honestly, I felt better. I did. It didn't completely go away, but it was bearable, where before it wasn't. So that was Thursday. Friday came and I ended up feeling the same. At this point, like I felt lazy. I felt useless basically, because I hadn't done anything the whole week. Like my routine was just sitting on the couch versus what I usually do. So I felt very useless, and like I just didn't feel good. And I still had no motivation to do anything. Like I just wanted to sleep the whole day. And if I knew I had COVID-19, I would have just slept the whole day. But since I didn't know what I had, my cats were fighting. So sorry about that. So since I didn't know what I had, I was trying to force myself to live a normal life, which was really unrealistic now that I think about it. So at that point, Friday, since I didn't feel better, my body still ached. And that day, like my whole body felt like I was gonna become bedridden, because it hurt to walk, it hurt to move, it hurt to do anything. That's why I was like, what is wrong with me? And then for some reason the thought came, no, not for some reason. Well, I watch a lot of Investigation Discovery, and on one of those shows and one of the episodes, there was this lady who was poisoning her husband or her boyfriend, and he became bedridden, and well, obviously he died. So at that point I was, what if Jose is poisoning me? you know? And like, I got that in my head. I know, like, that's probably like a crazy thought, but for me, it's not a crazy thought. I have to tell you the story, guys. It's not funny, actually. Um, I was taking 2 medicines that were literally making me go crazy. And this was like 2 months ago or 3 months ago. So once I tell you that, like, this thought will make sense. But yeah, basically that thought came into my head, and I even Googled like what, because I was Googling everything. I was Googling pregnancy symptoms, I was Googling arthritis symptoms, and then I started to Google what are the signs of if you're being poisoned. And that too didn't make sense. So yeah, because I was taking a shower when I had that thought, and that was Friday. And then when I looked it up, it just again didn't make sense. And I was like, what is wrong with me? Why do I feel this way? You know? And yes, the COVID-19 did come to my mind, but the basic symptoms, I didn't have them. I didn't have fever. I didn't have shortness of breath. And up to that point, like, I hadn't had a headache either, you know? So I don't know what at that time Google said the symptoms were, but the main symptoms, I didn't have them. So just nothing made sense of why I was feeling that way. Anyway, Friday afternoon came, like Friday night-ish. No, it was like around 6. When my husband came home from work, he had brought food. He had done something, I don't know what he did. I think he went shopping and then brought food. And so around that time when he came, I started to shiver. Like, I felt so cold, and I told him, I am so cold, I can't get warm. And then he touched me. He said that I was really hot, and he made me take my temperature, and it was at 99, I want to say 0.3, 99.3. And so obviously I don't think that's normal. And so he made me take the medicine again, the quercetin. And once it went into effect, I felt better. And then before I went to sleep, I had like a slight headache. It wasn't that bad. And I was like, it's time for me to go to sleep. So I went to sleep. Around 4 a.m., 4:30, I woke up because the pain of my head was unbearable. I've only had this kind of pain, I think, once before. And it was where every time I breathed in, it felt like, and it was on this side only, it felt like the air traveled all the way up to my brain around here. Like, it felt literally like that air was traveling all the way up to here, making it hurt. Every single time that I breathed in, that part hurt. And it hurt so bad. It was like a pain that was making me nauseous. So I took my migraine medicine. Thank God for my migraine medicine, because it worked. And then we woke up like around 8 or 9 on Saturday, and I felt better. I didn't have that headache anymore, and it didn't come back, thankfully. But I still, again, wasn't feeling all that great. So that day, Saturday night, after we took a shower maybe like at 7 or 8. Shortly after taking a shower, I got the chills again. And this time, the chills were making my body shake. I couldn't get warm. My body, of course, was aching. And so I took my temperature again, and it was at 101.3. So obviously, like, the highest that I've had it. And at that point, I was so scared that it went up that much. So I took my medicine, and my brother is a nurse. So I texted him. I was like, do you think I have coronavirus? And he said yes. He said, most likely I do. And to take, I think he said take Tylenol and get rest, drink lots of fluids. And if you feel shortness of breath, go to the hospital. So up to that point, I didn't feel shortness of breath. Oh, I also started coughing at that time. At that moment, it was so weird. I felt the chills really, really bad. I couldn't get warm, and I started to cough altogether. Saturday night. So I just took the Quercetin and I went to sleep. And then Sunday came, and again my temperature would go up and down, but it never went above 101 point something, 0.7 I think it was. It never went above that. But it would go down when I took the medicine. When the medicine effect was done, it would go back up. So I had to be constantly taking the medicine. And that was all Sunday. And at that point, I was scared because obviously you realize, oh, it's COVID-19 and people have died from this. So it is scary, but the fact that I didn't have shortness of breath was comforting because that's what takes your life. So Monday, I called my doctor. She also told me the same thing my brother did, that I most likely have COVID-19. So she told me there wasn't many tests available. So, and all the tests would do is prove what we already know, that I have COVID-19. So like my brother, she said, you know, if you have shortness of breath, you have to go to the emergency right away. That was Monday. Tuesday, I don't know if it was Monday or Tuesday, that I had like a really bad cough. And that was the only time. I only had the really bad cough for one day, and that day was the only day that I felt shortness of breath. And I think it was because I was coughing so much that my lungs, you know, took a while to recover, and that's why I had shortness of breath. But every time I took a shower, I felt so weak. Like it took a lot of strength out of me to take a shower. So yeah, by Wednesday, I want to say I felt better. Wednesday, I think, was the first day that I didn't have a fever. No, it was Tuesday. Tuesday and Wednesday, I didn't have a fever. Thursday, the health department called me to see if I wanted to get tested. But since I hadn't had a fever for 2 days, and by Wednesday, I was feeling good. Thursday, I was feeling even better. I decided not to get tested. So that week was the first week that my husband didn't go to work. The only thing my husband felt was that he could not smell anything. He literally could not even smell alcohol or Vicks, and those things are strong. He couldn't smell any of that. So he didn't go to work that week. He tried to go to work the next week because I was already better. And they told him he couldn't go back to work unless he got tested. So he called his doctor, told him what happened, and they were able to test him. So they tested him that Monday, and Wednesday he got back his results. He tested positive, guys. He tested positive even though he wasn't that sick. He had been sick like the weekend before, and the only thing he felt now was that he couldn't breathe and his taste was off. Those are the only things, and he still tested positive for the coronavirus. So that to me was really weird. So he wasn't able to go back to work that whole week or the next week. So in total, he was off for 3 weeks. After he was tested positive, and once I realized that I had coronavirus, what we ended up doing was my mom told me to cut up onions and to leave them around the house in plates because they absorb stuff and they could absorb the virus. So once they went like brown, to throw them away and then just do it again. I only did it one time, and I did that along with, she told me to inhale, make like a tea and inhale the, I don't know what it's called, the vapor, I think it's called. I don't know what it's called, but you know, like the steam. Yeah, the steam. To like inhale that before drinking the tea, and to do that several times a day. So I did that. And then also she told me to have Jose rub me down with alcohol. And then with Vicks, my whole body, my entire body. and then to wrap myself in a blanket for 30 minutes. So I did that with the onion and the tea the same day. I want to say maybe it was Monday that I did that. And by Tuesday I felt better. So I don't know if that's what worked, or maybe the virus was already leaving my body, or already, because they say you shred it off slowly. It's not like it goes away completely. You start shedding it off. So maybe my body was already doing that. I don't know. But that's what I did. And once I found out that I had the coronavirus and Jose tested positive, we were just cleaning. Since we started to feel better, like we didn't need to be in bed, or I didn't need to be in bed and sitting down the whole time. We just cleaned. Like we cleaned and disinfected every day. Every time we took a shower, we threw our clothes, our towels into the washer, like a fast wash. But it was every single time. Everything that we touched, we made sure we cleaned it, and to help get the virus out. So I think those things helped us to recover fast. But the thing is that it gradually got worse. And then when it was worse, it was only like a few days, and then it gradually went down. Because a lot of people that we talked to, like our friends and family, they were like weirded out by the fact that, we recovered so quickly. But if you really think about it, it was 3 weeks or more. Like Jose couldn't smell or taste for a whole month. So it wasn't really that we recovered fast. It's just that it gradually went up, and then we were like sick for a long time, or I was sick for a long time. I mean, not a long time, but like 2 or 3 days. That was the worst. And then it gradually went down, because even though I didn't have a fever anymore, my cough started to go away, I would still get tired fast. Like I couldn't do so much activity at one time because I would get tired fast. So yeah, I don't know. That virus is very, very weird. But yeah, that's the end of it. Today I feel so much better. I am back to normal. This week was the first week that Jose went back to work. He was off for 3 weeks. So yeah, that's kind of my story. If you guys have any questions, you can feel free to ask me in the comments, and I will try my best to answer them. But yeah, you guys really stay safe, because even though my experience wasn't all that bad, if you have underlying health issues, I think it could be worse. So this virus is real, and you can probably get it. So stay safe and have a nice day. Bye.